My name is Tony, and I have worked at West End for almost 6 years now. I started back when they were filming season 2. That was when I was, desperately trying to get on camera, and most of the time they wouldn't let me get on camera. I have a background in visual merchandising and display work. So when I got here, I asked Don if I could go up and just rearrange all the floors and make them staged and make them look really cool, and he said I could. And that just turned into my dream job. So there was no rules, there was no limitations. I could take anything and make it look into an area the way I wanted it to look. And my whole thought was there were a lot of piles of stuff and you couldn't see things and you had to dig through, and a lot of people that pick really love that. But my thought was, for the common person that's coming into the store, if you can't see it, how can you buy it? Working for Don has its ups and downs. It's like being on a bit of a roller coaster. Don's a great guy. He would do anything for any of his employees. But sometimes you got to keep him in check. And I'd say Don and I's relationship borders on the, I have to pull him back from the inappropriate sometimes. So, that look that I kind of give him sometimes when he's getting a little bit carried away, myself, Don, Paula, Cy, I'd say between the 4 of us, we pretty much know all the inventory, and so we're constantly moving it around. There have been so many pieces that have come and gone. So that kind of brings me to what's cool about merchandising and about staging, and you're keeping the place fresh. There might be a piece that's been in here for a year, and all of a sudden we'll put it at a different spot, surround it by different pieces that kind of accentuate it and make it stand out. Somebody walks in, they think it's new, and it's their cup of tea. It makes them want to buy it. That's the other thing. With moving stuff around, it gives you an opportunity to show people how to use things that they may not think of how to use them. Like, we get a lot of those foundry molds in, which are patterns from old factories that they would use to make patterns for machinery and parts like that. So we've used parts like that to make lamps, to make wall art, to make mirrors. So the reusing of something to turn it into something else is something that I think we specialize in, which makes it really cool because giving it new life on something that might just be thrown away and thrown into the landfill and never to be seen again. Here at West End Salvage, we're really fortunate. We have this big old building. It was built in 1913. It's incredible. It was a food distributor back in the day when it was built. Belonged to Sears Roebuck, it belonged to Yonkers, a bunch of different things. And it has 4 floors, and they're filled with stuff. Everything from our custom projects that we make, stuff that we've just painted, stuff that we've just kind of put back together. A lot of times we'll get a cabinet or something that comes in. Maybe it's been sitting in somebody's barn for the last year, so it's a little bit rotted out. We'll put a new back on it, tighten it up, give it a new life, and just make it look still has that nice old look to it, but make it functional again. Make it somebody want to put it in their house. Throughout this store, the higher you get, we always say the rawer the material gets. So 2nd and 3rd, pretty finished, lots of good lighting. I'd say 2nd has a little more finished pieces than 3rd. 3rd, you're going to get into more of your kind of old cool car parts and street signs and license plates and old letters. And once you hit 4, that's where you're going to have your old doors, your windows, floor grates, doorknobs, hardware, all the pieces and parts. I usually say you could probably build about 3 to 6 full-size houses with all the stuff we have on 4th floor. Maybe smaller, maybe not, maybe tiny houses. 6 to 7 tiny houses.
Sounds about right.